dessus. On est en air? Ben oui, on est en air. OK, génial. Yeah. All right. This is Piper, and welcome to Car Innovations. This is part 2. So if you missed part 1, make sure that you go check it out because, well, part 1 was about a whole bunch of other things. But we'll get started right away because Carl is saying nobody mentioned this yesterday, but I want the ashtray to come back. It was handy to place small things in. I'm not sure what small things we're talking about, like condoms, lighters. Change. It's a lot of people put like pennies in there, or loonies or tunies because we're in Canada. In the US, you guys don't have. Well, you get quarters, right? This is same but different. So you could put these things in the ashtray if it was clean, right? If it was dirty, it's kind of weird. And then Chris adds, ashtrays will return when drunk driving is legal. No one smokes anymore, especially the younger generation. Yeah, they all vape. So maybe you should definitely not put an ashtray, but put like a battery charger.
A vape charger.
A vape charger. Just a vape charger. That would be way more 2024. But the fun thing about this is that it's true. Like most people that drink and that were smokers or are smokers, when they drink, they want to smoke, right? So if drunk driving is a thing, then definitely the ashtray needs to come back, which could be a possibility with full self-drive. Because if the car drives itself, then you can literally, right, just start drinking and driving. Yeah, some people are happy about that.
April Fool's joke.
Oh.
Chevy or Ford.
Yeah.
Now with a vape rechargeable.
April Fool's, Chevy. Now with a vape rechargeable packet. It's an option, right? Yeah. It's an option for your car. April Fool's. Well, because okay, we don't really want that to happen, but this makes sense though that if you are drunk and you're driving, maybe you want to smoke. Still, some people smoke, but yeah, it might be the older generation. Again, it depends. Here in Canada or in the United States of America, it's a different thing. And then Chris Pankage says there's other places for junk. There's a lot of space for junk in vehicles, and we're going to talk about that. Car innovations that made it so that there's more space for junk in your car. And then if you need to burn a joint on the road, pick up a vape. Yeah, so this is... Everybody's vaping now. Nobody's like smoking real joints or real cigarettes. A lot less, which makes a lot of sense. Plus, we have gummies now. There's edibles. So if you're from Canada, well, where marijuana is legal, I have to mention, you should not marijuana and drive, though. This is still not legal. We don't do that. But it's a thing. Pardon. It's a thing you need to be thinking about. And then Chemist America Lifestyle says, hey, what's happening? Well, we are in the part 2 of car innovations that didn't make it to the 21st century. So stay right there. This is the part 2, meaning we did the part 1 day before yesterday, literally. But we'll go there. Ashtrays, never used one. We'll see some people, don't need it. So it's not an innovation that we need anymore. And then Chris Pankage says, I quit drinking and smoking in 2018. Good for you, just before the pandemic. Wow, that must have been good. The cost was high enough to almost make a car payment. Yeah, that's true. Some things cost a lot of money.
They keep putting taxes.
Well, they keep putting taxes on these products. So I don't know. How much is a pack of cigarettes right now? Like, I don't know how many cigarettes. It's just a pack, not a cartoon. Just a pack of cigarettes. I mean, here they're all covered up. You can't even know. Max Power says hello. Chris says $10 a pack or more. I thought it was like $20 in Canada. Like close to $20, right?
I think it's mostly
10 bucks.
One pack. It's just one pack.
Yeah, but still, I thought it was like 20. 16 in LA. Well, $16 USD, that's like 20 bucks Canadian.
That works. LA and New York.
LA and New York. LA. Okay, great. Now, in the last podcast, we definitely talked about 22 in Hollywood for Marlboros. Well, yeah, there's some of those brands, that are better branding, so they just cost more.
I think it's just Hollywood now. It's not taxes anymore.
This is Hollywood. It's Hollywood tax. It's Hollywood tax. You want to look nice, so you do that. Because everybody was freaking out on car innovations. Well, Carl has been very clear. Carl wants the ashtray back. So that's great. That's great to know. But then we have other car innovations that we talked about yesterday. So let me do a little recap. If you missed the first podcast, if you didn't miss it, well, let's just do a little recap. It's gonna get you in the mood. So we talked about bench seats, which were these big sofa seats that some of them did not even have, seat belts. Yeah, I know that happened. That was a thing back then. Then we also had vent windows, the ones you use to smoke. A lot of things are related to smoking in these cars. We didn't talk about the ashtray, but Carl has made a point of talking about it. So that's another innovation that disappeared because we don't smoke anymore. And then record players in cars. That was another thing. Chris Pankage says $10 a day, 30 days a month. Then add $20 for a case of beer 4 times a week. Total $540 a month. That's a Tesla payment. Oh, this is good to know, Chris. So Chris is really good at budgeting. So he's a budgeting alcoholic, which is awesome. You need to be able to budget. So this is true, but again, it's like if you start counting your food and you're like, no, I'm not going to be one of these people that don't eat. Well, this is like, you need to eat. You need to eat.
I used to think like that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stop smoking like today. Tomorrow I spend the money. Then the day after,
It's like guy math. It's like guy math. Okay, so you don't smoke one day, you save $10. So then
you spend more than that because you stop smoking.
Yeah, because you stop smoking. So you need to give yourself a little gift. So you buy more of something else.
I'm gonna save $1,000 in this month. I'm gonna spend it right away.
Oh, so because you stop smoking, you're gonna save $1,000 this month.
So the day after that you stop,
you spend $1,000 and then you start again.
Yeah.
The day after.
Then after you pile up your month.
Ah.
That's guy math.
Guy math. Okay. It stands total alcoholic recovering sober since 2018. Good for you, Chris. Everybody does whatever they want to do. Then Chemist America Lifestyle says, if we have memory seats in our Teslas, what is memory rear window? Because we switch cars with my wife every day from the Model 3 to the Model S. First world problem. What do you mean you have memory seats? Like memory foam seats?
The setting.
Oh, the setting. Oh, memory in the rear new view mirror. Okay, so you want a memory for the rear view mirror. And that makes sense. Yeah, is there no?
Yeah, now Model X.
As a rear view everything? Because it does the two mirrors, but it doesn't do the top one or Model X 2016. It doesn't do that. But maybe soon. I mean, back in the day, there was no memory, right? Well, maybe not before 1980. Some of the Cadillacs have like great stuff in them. Like you could like literally like press all these buttons, recline your seats. But I don't know when memory came a thing for cars. Like when was...
They didn't drive
Because women didn't drive?
much.
Yeah.
So it was just the guy adjusting and the women supposed to put it back
Oh.
for the man.
Oh, yeah. That was the good old days. I spent way more than that. So Carl spent a lot more money on alcohol and cigarettes. Good to know that you guys can now support me. Thank you for going to my Patreon. Patreon.com/2girls1electric car. Yeah, to support the show, the podcast, and everything else. Amazing. And yes, that's how I talked my wife into the Tesla initially. She said, figured out how to afford it. That was the way. Oh, okay. Yeah. So this is good guy, Matt. It's good guy, Matt. Chris Pankage says, so when someone else gets in, the rear view mirror moves. Only the side mirror move now. Exactly. Right now, only the side mirror move for my Tesla Model X, but I don't know about the other ones and the newer ones. Chris Pankage says the 1981 Caddy first memory seat. I have to say, memory foam is not something I like. Like I've tried it, but it's
memory, like
I know, but I'm going somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah. yeah. Memory foam. Well, if you tried memory foam, like I wouldn't do that in a car. I know that I think it was developed for astronauts, like to literally have their seats, so their bucket seats of astronauts be memory foam, so they were be able to like collapse with all the G's that they would take in, so for them to not like squish in, but just like slowly be pushed in like that. Yeah, this mushiness. So this is crazy. And then, yes, I know, the first memory seat, meaning that you would definitely memorize seats. Because in the Tesla Model X, you can have multiple drivers and then you can all set up your very own specs. So that's for the seat and for the 2 rear view mirrors. Let's call it like that. But not the one on top. That one you need to touch yourself. You need to handle yourself. And then, but yeah, so that's 1981. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for car innovations. And then we talked about the Lando bars. Yeah, these weird bars that are on hearses and that were on horse carriages. So these were just decorative features. So we talked about all these things yesterday, but now we still have points to cover about car innovations that, well, kind of died. And do you want to relive them, revive them for your actual electric vehicle? Or maybe just for your vehicle in general? I mean, some of these things died because it was other times, other things, but maybe it would be cool to have, I don't know, a record vinyl CD player in your car for some weird reason that I don't know yet about. But we're open to everything. So if you have ideas, make sure that you drop them in the live comment section. Why? Because the show is recorded live at 12 p.m. every Monday to Friday, and that is Vancouver time. Yes, so that means Pacific time, but in Vancouver, so west coast of Canada. Now, don't forget to also make sure that you subscribe to the channel, 2 Girls, 1 Electric Car, so that you can be notified when we post something new. Carl says, I know that I do not want the vinyl roof back. Yeah, some people really did not like the vinyl roof. It kind of is smelly. It's true, it smells weird. It's like on boats, right? The vinyl tents, vinyl roofs. Yeah, it smells like, it's like, I don't know, mold gets in there. It's really weird. Why would you want that back? I don't think you would. No, it's kind of gross. No, we all agree, right? Nobody wants the vinyl roof back. And then, well, even some of the sports car now, or the cars that are open top, well, it's legit metal. You don't have to have some sort of soft top. You can have a hard top that opens nowadays. They were hard to clean. Yeah, plus they get really discolored really fast, huh?
And I think you need to make put some special product.
Oh yeah, you need to put special product. It's like taking care of your latex, right? Yeah.
You need to take care of that.
So you don't want to do that. They were hard to clean. Well, we know guys like to take care of their cars. That's a good point. But maybe that's too much. That's just too much, right? So no vinyl. Okay, 12:46. So we were at number 5, the column shifter. Do you remember the column shifter? If you have a pickup truck, maybe you still have that. So that's the shifter that was on the steering wheel, or behind the steering wheel. Yeah. I know, that's why we're talking about it. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. So topless cars. Yes, some cars are topless, but often they have something to cover them from the rain. That's a thing. It happens. So that being said, the column shifter. So yeah, it's a gear shifter. So it's just it's a stick, right? It's a stick, but behind your steering wheel. And then this was really popular from the 1930s to the 1980s. A column shifter. It's a column. Like in Excel, there's columns. No, not column. It's a column shifter. Yes, I do remember that. So these were really cool because, well, it was convenient. You're just there behind the wheel. But at one point, I think that they did some studies and they tested out stuff and realized that maybe it would be better to have the shifter in a gearbox in the middle. So a console in the middle of the car. And that's what they did. It was more ergonomic. I don't know why. And to the detriment of other people that really liked bench seats and that liked for people to squeeze in. Well, now there was this console in the middle, so you couldn't kind of touch each other too much anymore. That's what happened. Chemist America Lifestyle says, I remember when I was young with my father's car, he listened to 8-track music. We're talking cassette, right? I think we're called it. Yeah, 8-track cassette. Okay. Because I was the DJ every time he wants to change the music, I needed to dig out from his box. Yeah, a lot. So did you have a box like in the car to listen to all that music? Yeah. So it was not in the glove compartment. It was just like big box.
Not enough song in the glove compartment.
Not enough songs in the glove compartment. So you need a legit box, a milk crate full of cassettes, and you would just like choose a cassette, and then there we go. It's a party. I'm Piper, and you're listening to While You Wait. So while you wait for cassettes to be a thing back in your EV, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and that you tune in, because we're here to entertain you and give you awesome information about old nostalgic innovations that have died, like literally died. That's what we're talking about. But it's quite interesting because maybe we can look at history and make a better future with all these awesome technologies. Maybe some of them can be reinvented to better suit our future needs. Chris Pankage says it's because it was cheaper on the floor. The column was complicated and the shifter above the transmission used less parts.
It's always less.
There's always less parts, huh? Less moving parts is better. Yeah. And then Musk, no part is the best part. Yeah, Elon Musk went like, let's ditch everything. Like, let's not have nothing there, and it's gonna be way better. Yeah, totally. So the column shifter, like, maybe it was convenient for bench seats, but then became, like Chris said, it became not convenient because it was too many options, too many things to do. So we put it in the middle as a console thing. But the thing is, if you look at Tesla and their Model X and Y and 3, they all have a sort of column shifter, but you're going to be like, no, Piper, there's no gearbox. I know it's an electric car, okay? But the thing is, they still have the park, neutral, and drive, and reverse on a little stick that is just like a column shifter. Same but different. So you just press it, and then we'll up, down, and then the neutral is kind of hard to get. I haven't figured that one out yet. I mean, you kind of push, but not too much. That's neutral. And then you press the button to do park. You press on the button on the top of that kind of, I don't know, that kind of thing that sticks out of the steering wheel in the back. So that is the column shifter. Do you miss it? Do you want it? Do you like to go ta? I mean, if you have a pickup, maybe you're still doing that. If you have a nice vehicle, maybe you do. Maybe in EVs later, some people are going to want to have that instead of the shift stick in the middle. I don't know.
The Volt was in the middle.
The Volt was in the middle. The Volt had the shift stick in the middle. Even though, again, the Chevy Volt was a battery and a generator, so it did not really need to change gears in that way, but still had it. Chris says, no idea why. But they were saying that they wanted to maybe accommodate for early adopters, but not too much early adopters. It was too much to have, like, taken out everything from the car. So I think that's why they did it. Even that stick on the Teslas are going away. The new Model 3, you shift on the screen, and the Cybertruck has the shifter on the roof.
Oh, that's cool.
What?
You go drive.
Oh, on the roof. Okay, cool. Like literally on the roof. I need to watch more videos. I'm gonna need to do like, Elon, we need a Cybertruck. I need to test this out. So yeah, I've heard that most of the new models and new things that are coming out are definitely more screen targeted. So everything you do is on a screen, which makes sense because we had a podcast where we talked about screens versus button and the usability and the easeability, I guess, of having screens instead of buttons, because you can if you have a screen, you can put the buttons wherever you want and you can have as many buttons as you want, which makes a lot of sense. I'll send you homework. Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much. So that being said, the column shifter, you miss it, you want it, you don't want it. So far, I mean, Chris seems to be saying like, yeah, it's fine. We don't need it. We just need a screen and we can control everything from there. Snoopy says, sound like a Wi-Fi shifter for transmission. Okay, I'm not sure I understand any of that, but let's just roll with it. Let's just roll with it. Let's just laugh. Yeah, here we go. Yes, okay. Now, what do I have here? that's perfect. So let's move on to the next one that I have. Yeah, the next car innovation, because we have more car innovations. If you think about a car innovation that was innovative when you were a kid, well, make sure you drop it in the live comment section, because that's what we want. We want you to input in the podcast. This podcast is for everybody to talk in it. That's why it's recorded live from Monday to Friday at 12 p.m. Vancouver time on YouTube on the channel Two Girls One Electric Car. If you miss it, don't worry, go back to the podcast playlist. There is over at this time 47 podcast episodes that you can enjoy whenever you want, wherever you want. So while you wait for your bus to arrive, for your lunch break to be over, make sure you click us and you take it a listen. Super easy. So now we did talk about that. Carl started talking about ashtrays, but let's talk about luggage racks. Yeah, what are luggage racks? Well, so luggage racks were a thing back in the day, because vehicles were like luggage racks, there were some on the roof, there were some on the front, and there were some on the back.
Is it on top of the vehicle?
Yeah, on top of the vehicle. And I have a fun story to go with this. So I'm going to tell you my story, because that was really funny. I hoped I filmed it, but I didn't. I should have filmed it, but things just happen in the street sometimes, so you don't have time to film. But that would corroborate this thing like so much. Chris Pankage says it's software. Yeah, everything is software. Like, so in an electric vehicle, there's no gear, there's no transmission. So it's just you go faster, and then it, I guess, adjusts the wheels and the torque depending. There's no 1, 2, 3, 4. There's none of that. You don't need that. And Camus America Lifestyle says, I test drive the new Model 3 without the stocks. After the test drive, I got used to it. So I'm with Elon. Less parts is best parts. Well, meaning it makes sense that if you're used to shifting, it's just like if you're in a manual car with a shift stick and then you go in an automatic, sometimes you're just going to put your hand there and you're like, no, I don't need to put my hand in the middle. It's fine. I don't need to do that. So when you get back from manual to automatic to manual, sometimes you have some like a memory muscle that stays there. But again, we're human, so we can adapt and we can just rechange that as quickly as we can, pretty fast usually. And okay, Chris thought so, just like Ford. Perfect. So that means that Tesla is really more like a cell phone than a car. Yeah. I guess that makes a lot of sense. Like Ford in 20 years. We have the luggage rack kayak rails too. That's from Carl. Ford's technology in EV had been admitted by Farley to be years behind. Oh, okay. So see, meaning that the Chevy, I guess, what does Ford do? Like the Lightning? They do the Lightning, the Mustang, the Mach-E. Yeah, so those are EVs. It's bad that they're actually behind. So I guess you should all buy Teslas. This is not sponsored, but Elon, if you want sponsorship, make sure you call me. Super easy. Yeah, send an email. I don't know, send one of your satellites. Find me. You should be able to do it, right?
We need a Cybertruck.
Well, yeah, because we need a Cybertruck.
We want to be the first Canadians to have some.
The first Canadians to have a Cybertruck. That would be us. The thing is that, well, these luggage racks, yes, they're still luggage racks. You can still buy like a hamburger thing. You can buy a kayak. You can buy one of these Thule or things like that. But back in the day, so to go with my story, I was like looking in the alley, and there was this gay couple that seemed like a gay couple. Again, there's no faces, so whatever I say doesn't matter. The one guy was there with his suitcase, and so he was carrying this, I guess, average size suitcase, normal, nothing like, it's not a carry-on, it's like a literal suitcase. And the other man, well, was kind of coming and picking him up in that sense. So the guy pulled up with a what's the name? With an MG, right? An old MG. So that's a 2-seater. It's a small car. It's really, really old. And well, the other guy was there with his suitcase, and as I looked, I was like, where are they gonna put the suitcase? I don't think it's gonna fit, like literally. And even these two guys were pretty tall, and not big, not too big, just normal guy size. And I don't think he could have fit the suitcase on top of him in the passenger seat. Like, I don't even think that fits. It's a 2-seater. There's no space like behind. There's nothing like that. So the guy opens the trunk and put the suitcase in the trunk, and the suitcase does not fit in the trunk. Like there's no way it's gonna fit. It's not standard for that time. I don't know, people did not travel. It's a sports car, whatever. So the trunk stays open. But when I say open, I mean like there's enough place in the trunk for maybe a lunchbox. Like that's how small it is. Like my MG had a luggage rack on the trunk top, exactly. So it had that, but I think that they did not have rope, right?
No.
I didn't see any rope.
You forget your bungee.
Yeah, if you forget your bungee.
I think he didn't have rack.
I don't know. But he definitely forgot his bungee. Because you can always use a bungee. Always have a few bungees in your car. So if there's something, you just tie the trunk to the thing and you're good. But that's what happened. That's what happened. So they put the suitcase in there and they kind of closed the trunk, but they had no rope or no bungee or no nothing. And then they went away. And I was like, well, this is funny. This is super cute. So that did not work out. Meaning that these old cars had luggage rack. And we're talking like, okay, 1970s, 1980s. There was some storage, of course. Like no car had no storage. Or if you like lost a kid, you could replace the kid by storage. You could just like put a suitcase there or something else. I mean, and we're talking like suitcases. They were not as efficient as we have now, right? There's not like compressor bags and things like that.
Same thing as buying an Lamborghini. You don't carry luggage.
No, you don't carry luggage in a Lambo. You buy it someplace else. Same thing with the MG. You can't.
It's a second car.
Yeah, it's a second car. It's a second car. It was an option, not standard. So straps are optional. Buy back, then I guess for a luggage rack. I mean, it's always good to have straps in your car for whatever happens. I mean, kidnapping or just like a loose door. You need that. So the thing is, it seems like these older vehicles, as much as they were big, did not necessarily have a lot of storage. Okay, some of them were as we say, like open trunk. Like how's that called? Like really like big, like Volvo had open trunk. It's more like a sedan and it's all open. Not pickup. Just like open, like in the back.
Station wagon?
Yeah, station wagon. Exactly. That's the word I was looking for. So you had station wagons, but if you're going sports car, I mean, there's not that much. The other problem with anything related to storing things on your car back in the 70s and in the 80s, well, yeah, you could kind of tie it up and put a locker on it, but all these things could be easily stolen. I mean, you could just kind of grab them and leave with them. Plus, well, if you're tying your skis and all that stuff with rope on your luggage rack, there's a chance that on the highway they're just gonna fly away. This is another very, very big safety issue. And then, well, when you have all these things that are just kind of laying there, well, you have the weather, right? So you have rain, you have like everything weather related that could make it so that your luggages don't really arrive at the final destination in the way that they were in the beginning. So yeah, rope is important for many, many things. I thought you forgot. Okay, where we taking? I just thought of something from the past we no longer regularly see. Pinstripes. What are pinstripes? It rings a bell, but I don't think I
Like, if you when you ordered your Rolls Royce and you just want a pinstripes, just a little line.
Oh, the line. That's a pinstripe. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's true. It's very different nowadays. Like all the decorations or the little ornaments on vehicles, I feel like we've been in a more era of efficiency and like aerodynamics and things like that. So or door trim lines. Okay, old cars have big chrome everywhere. Yeah, all of these things, these embellishments, well, these definitely are gone. So that's the thing. And now we have internal storage. So luggage is not like, I mean, luggage racks is not a thing. They still exist. If you want to have skis, kayak, like Carl said, you can still buy some racks, and then they're gonna come with usually like you can lock these racks. They're really, really intense and they're really good nowadays. It's not just like a rack and then you tie it yourself. It's like a do-it-yourself rack. Now these like hamburger things, you have like a key, you tie them on. Some things you need to like drill in like your top and all that. So it's more efficient and it's better than it was. So I'm guessing that most of you just don't want the same racks as before. That'd be more decorative, right?
We cannot put one on them.
no, we cannot put a top rack on the Model X because the doors open like this, not like this. They open like Falcon doors. So there's no way you can put something on the roof. Plus, it's all glass, right? So there's not a good idea. Not cool. Not cool. Okay, yeah, we'll get back to ornaments and things like that because this is like really they had internal storage back in 1930s. Of course they did. I mean, they had mini bars in cars. Yeah. So like yeah, the good old days. Plus they had spare tires, right? So there was some sort of internal storage. I'm not saying there wasn't. It's just that it was also it depends on the size of the car if it's a sports car or not. And then it depends like the luggage racks. I guess they tried it and then they find something better. Like Thule came to be and there was like, okay guys, we're gonna make this work like for real now. For real. Okay. Let's talk about car phones. Yeah. Because this is super cool. So let's talk about car phones. You will get back to that max power very, very soon. Okay, hey, aka Fumbler, thank you for tuning in. Yes, I'm Piper, and you're listening to While You Wait. Because while you wait for your electric vehicle to charge, which can take up to an hour, we aim to entertain you with awesome podcasts that we do from Monday to Friday at 12 p.m. Vancouver time. So make sure you tune in. Okay, so yes, phone in cars. I mean, that was the thing, right?
Well, my father got that.
So your father had a phone in his car.
With a cord.
Yeah, but so it was a real phone. We're not talking a cell phone. We're talking like a real phone that would go dring, dring.
It was a cell phone.
You had a cell phone?
It was a cell phone, but in the car.
So you had a cell phone in the car?
There were no big, because cell phone was big like that.
Yeah, cell phone was huge.
They made it in car.
But they made phones before that in cars too. Before they made cell phones. Yeah.
With real phones?
Yeah. Yeah, well, same, but different.
My father not that old.
Okay. So yeah, these cars had phones. So that was when you were like, rich and you had one of these awesome cars. So you would literally have a phone in your car with like, it's a phone, like a hanging phone. Those kinds of phones. Did you see that? Did you ever touch that? Chris Pankage says, cell phones in the 80s car, a huge bricked, coiled wire, and a briefcase of receiver. Yep, that makes sense. Chris Pankage, the ones you can open, not just panoramic roof. Okay, I think he's talking about something else. About the sunroofs. Okay, yeah, so Max Power is talking, do we still have moonroof or sunroof? We still do. I mean, I've seen cars with sunroofs. Yesterday I saw a BMW with the Mercedes had a sunroof. I saw a BMW with a sunroof, so it's still a thing. My dad had one for work in the 80s. It cost over $3,000 in the 80s. Same thing for your dad. So same time, same thing. And so it was like a phone in your vehicle, so you could receive calls. Yeah, Chris is Chris is in his 50s. Yeah. So my uncle had the radio phone in his car in the 1970s. Are you talking? Yeah, that's a CB. So you can still have CBs. All truck drivers have CBs. They have to have CBs for many reasons. Full moon or half moon? That I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Like you mean like just the little door that opens on top of the car, right? And that girls go woohoo when they drink champagne in limos on the Vegas Strip. Are we talking about that? I think we're talking about that. Just 50. Let's not start adding years, Piper. Well, I mean, I'm not sure.
That's why we know.
Yeah, exactly. It was $3,000 the phone, but this phone worked. So you can call and you could receive calls. It was like a cell phone or just like any other phone, but it was part of your vehicle. So imagine that you're in your car and you receive a call. Yes, hello, and you still need to drive. And we're talking. This is handheld. You need to like hold the brick that you have in your hand while you're driving. So you need to do all these things at the same time. I mean, no wonder people died. Like this is dangerous. So phone cars, well, okay, it was great because, I mean, people wanted to get in touch with people. We also have like the Padgets and all of these other devices, which made it amazing, but at the same time, like really dangerous. You're supposed to be driving, not to be like on the phone with I don't know whom. Again, it was people that were more rich that had them, and most of them had like companies and businesses.
There were no laws at this time.
and there was no laws. You could literally talk on the phone while driving. It was not illegal yet.
People were saying that it's the exact same thing as listening to the radio.
Yeah.
It's totally not.
But it's not. So people were saying it was like listening to the radio until they figured out it wasn't.
Until too many people died.
Yeah, too many. It's always the number of people that die. And then we kind of like, oh, maybe not, right?
It's not like the radio, right? Because we didn't have this problem before.
No, we didn't. Before that, it was okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And people die. My 2022 had a sunroof, powered, cracks, open or fully. There's tons and tons of car with them still. They never went away. It's true. I see some. I still see some. Chemist America Lifestyle says CB radios are like old school Twitter. You can say whatever and anybody can reply. Yeah, it's a good analogy. It's a good analogy.
How many people are there?
Hi, who's here? And then people just blah 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 blah. Yes.
Have a good day.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, then you wait. Plus, you just need to be in range. That's the thing with CBs. They use like AM frequencies, right? So like it's super easy. The car phone had special antenna. Well, I mean, even the radio had a huge antenna back then.
It was like a spring.
It was like a spring, huh? Yeah. Yeah.
Some noise and
Yeah.
that noise.
Is the antenna that makes the noise? Breaker, Smokies on mile marker 9. Well, okay, so that's the thing. If you had CBs or if you still have a CB, usually, you use it to, talk to other people, truck drivers in general, or, it's like for traffic and stuff like that, right? That's what they use it for. One bad... Well, there's the police that still uses it too.
No, but Smokies.
Oh, is it the police?
Smokies on marker 9. I think you're calling the police.
There's a police car. They did not have ways. Yes, they didn't have ways back then.
It's old way.
It is old ways. Now we have ways. On ways, you can be like, oh, there's a police there.
Yeah, Smokies is the police.
Smokies is the police. Oh, okay, cool. Good to know. Snoopy says one bad thing about car phones in the 1970s and 80s is that anyone on that frequency can hear what has been spoken. Really?
Oh, yeah.
You could spy on people?
You choose a frequency, you stick there, everybody's on there.
Well, yeah, but that's not for phones. That's for CBs.
He was talking about.
He says he's talking about car phones. That's different. I mean, was car phones like a CB? I don't think so, because you could call far away, right? Okay, we need proof of that. Snoopy, we need proof. So now what happened? Well, accidents happen. It was too distracting. You were driving with only one hand, which I know some of you can do, but then you were also talking to maybe your business associate, your kid, your mistress, your wife. I mean, it became kind of too much. So we went a way of having handheld that was not a thing anymore. Even nowadays with your cell phone, you're not supposed to take your phone and call somebody while you're driving. We have hands-free, meaning we have Bluetooth, there's CarPlay, there's AirPlay, whatever you want to call it. And all of that makes it so that you don't take your hand, one of your useful hand, especially if you have two, to call people. You don't do that anymore.
You're not supposed to call people at all.
You're not supposed to. Yeah. You are supposed to be concentrated on driving. But that is why FSD with full self-drive, I mean, maybe it's going to be quite different. Maybe entertainment and things like, smoking, drinking, and possibly while calling people or watching movies in your car are going to come back. They're going to make a comeback. It's not going to be more innovation, but maybe it's going to be okay to talk on the phone now because you don't need to drive. Like your car, you're just a passenger in it. So this is a big possibility. Lisa, call us. Yes, if you had a scanner. Oh, okay, cool. Police scanners. You can still have a scanner, but some places they ticket you if they find out you have a scanner. It's a thing. I would hear on the radio in my own house people talking over their phones unaware I was listening. Are you sure it was their phones or it was their CBs? Yeah, interference. Yeah, it happened to me when I lived in a mansion thing. I had all these things to communicate because it was too big of a house. So I need to talk to people in other rooms, And sometimes I would get these Chinese people that were just talking Chinese, so I don't know what they were saying because I don't speak Chinese, nor Cantonese, nor Mandarin. So I didn't know. I had no idea. But sometimes I would just kind of press the thing and talk to them and see if they were freaking out. I would say that was a ghost and things like that. And I was the police too. Yeah, it was really funny. Nothing ever happened though. No, it was not ghosts. It was just random people talking and hijacking the frequencies. Yeah. I rented cars in the 90s that had phones. So I guess like it's a thing. Since the 80s and the 90s, the phone was a thing. Well, because people like to talk, right? They like to talk on phones.
Until we invented the smaller version.
Well, until we invented really the cell phone that could do something good.
Carry in your pocket.
Not the big brick. Which happens kind of like in the 2000s, right? Beginning of 2000s. Because the flip phone was there before, and even the Nokia was pretty small.
One of mine was.
Yeah, that was like a big phone. Well, it looks weird now. Yeah. Because that's as big as a computer. Like, I mean, it's just like, yeah. It looks, even satellite phones now are small.
Smaller than this.
It's smaller than that. Even satellite phones. Okay. So, Carl, you talked about this. So, let's talk about it. Car ornaments, but let's talk about hood ornaments. Yeah, hood ornaments. Just hood ornaments. Because we talked about decorations, we talked about other things. But hood ornaments, they were really popular. Like, back in the day, it was a thing. Hood ornaments represented the brand. There's like luxury. It was nice. And even when I bought my used Mercedes, it was a 2012. And I didn't know, so I just asked. You know, if you don't know, you ask. No question is stupid when you don't know, because you don't know. So whatever, what are you going to do? Learn? So that's what I did. So the guy that was selling us the Mercedes, it was a Mercedes that had, this big Mercedes logo, but it did not have hood ornament. And I was like, okay, I want to buy this one, but I would like the Mercedes sign to be on the hood. Like, I would like the Mercedes to be a hood ornament. And he kind of laughed, but politely. And he was like, well, it's one or the other. You can't have like the literal Mercedes sign and the hood ornament. And right now they only do like the hood ornament for the, I almost have the name, the Maybach. Exactly, the Mercedes Maybach. So they keep the hood ornament for that one, and all the other ones are stuck with just like the Mercedes sign on the front, right? On the front of the car. So I still asked for it, and I was like, well, can you just put one? I don't mind having two. Can you just put one there? There's a hole there, right? And he was like, no, we can't do that. But if you want to buy one, just stick it there. I was like, this is like ruining all my dreams right now. But okay, I'll just have to buy a Maybach. Yeah, on the grill. Thank you very much, Carl. I'll just have to buy a Maybach, whatever. Rolls-Royce now has a button to hide the ornament. Long time that Rolls-Royce, when you park it, it hides itself, right? It just goes back in. And if somebody tries to steal it, it goes into. It's kind of like a whack-a-mole thing. That's what so that's what the Rolls-Royce is. It's like, and it's called the ecstasy, the spirit of ecstasy. That's the ornament on the Rolls-Royce. There are other ornaments like the Mercedes ornament. You go ahead, tell me more about like all of these other ornaments that you. Jaguar still has the ornament, I think. No, it doesn't hide, not to my knowledge. Hiding ornaments is a good idea. Well, because they get stolen, right? And then, well, Mark Randall, hey Mark, says wood ornaments hamper air coefficiency. Well, yeah, so it makes it a bit less aerodynamic. And but yeah, tell that to the Cybertruck, which is kind of a weird aerodynamic situation there. This really weird thing that I saw when I was doing research on the hood ornaments, and some people are saying that they are not a thing because of pedestrians. So in accidents with pedestrian, they would get hurt with the hood ornaments, because they were like sharp and edgy and all that. So I don't know how many people literally got hood ornaments stuck in their butts that made it so that we needed to be like, okay, no more hood ornaments.
Would have survived if not the wood ornament.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, would they have survived if there was no hood ornament? Like, maybe you hit the person and then, there's like, oh, they have a hood ornament stuck in their liver. Like, is that real? And that's how we died. So no more hood ornaments. It's too dangerous. It's too dangerous. but just the hood ornament. Now, Chris Bankage says the coefficient of drag, which you are referring to, is extremely small from a hood ornament, which makes sense. I mean, it's not big, right? It's not like you put a whole like motor on your hood.
Your dad's car when you go like this in the window.
Yeah, it's a bit. Yeah. It's a bit like you open the window and then you put your hand out and you're like, I'm gonna stop the car. Yes, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Okay, in the wind. Yeah. How did it succeed? Never. Yes, it did not succeed. So Snoopy says originally hood ornaments were used for releasing pressure on the radiator. Really? But that's like pressure. How do you release pressure from pressure? Don't you need to just let it out? So it's like a vent. The hood ornament would be a vent. Chris Pankage says most likely in the 0.0110%. That's not a lot. So, I mean, I think it's just because they're getting stolen too much and it's just too complicated maybe to make. You know, you're doing this thing, you're putting it on top. Then when you carry the cars, when you move the cars, there's probably more breakage because it's like a hood ornament. And there's nothing else that proturberates from the car. That's the only thing, except for the wipers and the mirrors, that kind of sticks out. So if it sticks out, there's more chances of you just breaking it by accident. And that's probably why they're not there anymore. Carl says, how about the old power antenna that went up and down? Yeah, you're talking for the radio? What is it? On the Lincoln?
The radio, the antenna comes out.
Yeah, the antenna would come out, huh? I've seen that. Yeah. Okay, but it would hide. So it wasn't broken. Or it wouldn't...
Modern time.
Yeah, modern time. Mechanics. Yeah. On and off. Up and down. Okay, Mark Randall says, how about bring quality-made cars? Well, quality-made cars, of course that's what we want. That's why, like...
That's what we have.
I think that's what we have so far, because all of these new tests that we made a podcast out of this. So while you wait the podcast, go to our YouTube channel, 2 Girls, 1 Electric Car, click the podcast playlist, and we made a whole podcast about the security of cars nowadays and how the tests for cars are way more intense than they were in the past. So cars are better now than they ever were, and they will be better next year than they ever were. It's just we want people to survive so far. That's a thing. That's the thing we like. So okay, there are decorative ornament that move while driving. It had a valve that opened when over pressure and came out of the ornament.
I understand.
Okay, yeah.
Back in the day,
Yeah.
radiator,
Yeah.
it was too much pressure.
Yeah.
It's release pressure.
Yeah.
Like a slow cooker or something. So they had like a round thing on top.
Yeah.
And I think they just put, because it was ugly, they just put something on
Oh,
top,
because it was ugly, they put the hood ornament.
just like in front of a boat.
Oh, okay,
But
that makes sense.
it was just a cover for
Yeah.
the radiator.
Yeah.
And
So
it became a hood ornament.
the cover for the radiator became a hood ornament.
Exactly.
So
And
that makes sense.
Rolls-Royce kept it.
Yeah, Rolls-Royce kept it.
It's not a cover.
It doesn't do that anymore. The first purpose it was designed for is not a thing. Okay, good. Now we have Enyo-san. Thank you for tuning in, Enyo. Don't you think that electric vehicles are just a transition technology to some cleaner or greener in the near future? Well, Enyo, right now, electric cars are the cleanest thing that we have. That's what we believe here on the podcast. So far, with the information that we have, this is just the way it is.
According to Donald.
According to, Elon Musk. Let's go like that. Heist buildup was the antenna's enemy. Yeah, totally, right? Drive-through car washes have killed hood ornaments. Yes, they have. So to save your hood ornament, you need to wash manually, which not everybody has the time to do, right? Okay, so if you like sports cars and you're an 80s kid, pop-up headlights. That's where we're going. Pop-up headlights.
That was good.
Okay, so it was a sleek design. You did not have any headlights, but they would just pop up when you needed them. So you would activate a button. From the 60s to the 80s on cars was super cool. A lot of people wanted it, and it was more sporty. It was not like on caravans, right? It was not like that. and then so it was for the looks. of course, for the looks of having all of this. Had them horrible. Fixed them on my Corvette twice.
Yeah, it's
So
always broken.
so always broken. And the problem is no part is better part. The problem is with pop-up headlights, like Chris says. Yeah, okay, the complicated mechanism. So on and off. And now with new laws, you have to have your lights on automatically. So your lights know when it's dark and then they just open. So even if it's like a rainy day, they're gonna do headlight stuff. So you don't control them. They're always on, exactly. They're always on nowadays. So you don't want to hide them because that would be dangerous for you and for pedestrians who don't see you. so that's a thing with these headlights, and that's probably why they died and they're not resurfacing. Plus, of course, well, like we're saying, it was too difficult, right? So which cars did you like that had these pop-up headlights?
When I was young, often you see just a car with one up, the other down.
Oh, you see a lot of cars with one up, one down?
Yeah. Too much moving parts.
Okay.
And we're saying like they're doing
Like this. Yeah, so they were blinking, right?
oh, yeah.
A little wink, but it's broken. It's not a wink. Okay, yes, Toyota has given up on the hydrogen. The Mirai was a total failure.
Do they?
So Toyota, that's the hydrogen, right? The Mirai, yeah, it's the hydrogen.
That's it. We want news about it.
Yeah, we do want news about this. This is interesting. And so what car do you know from your childhood that had the pop-up headlights that you wanted, and then like Chris, when you were of age, you bought one and you were like, this is not what I want. Porsche for you. And then for Carl, we have the Triumph had the pop-up lights. Oh yeah, Triumph was a car, right?
Like the little MG.
Like the MG? Spider Triumph. Oh, okay. So see, it was a thing. And now why would we not get them anymore? Well, just maybe because it's not a good idea, right? More moving parts, meaning more maintenance, and then more possibility of failure in that way. The Trans Am. Yeah, the Trans Am did have those. Fiero? Okay, Fiero. Yeah, of course you know. Totally your years. Fiero had pop-up lights. Corvette had pop-up lights. Okay, cool. So which of these ones did you guys want or owned? I mean, Chris, Fiero. I guess that's like some sort of other. We don't know whether they probably do not grease the bearing of the pop-up part to work right. Huh. Okay. Well, I mean, there's a lot of moving parts going on, so I don't know which one did not work. I mean, it's mechanical. So there's grease. There's also,
It's your wheel, but you don't grease.
You don't grease your light, but there's misadjustments too. It's a bit like the Falcon doors. If you're moving a lot and these things go up and down, well, there's a chance that they're just gonna get misaligned and then they're gonna get stuck. And I think that makes a lot of sense. The Z-Rock, is that really a car? The Z-Rock? I don't know about that one. 2-seat Pontiac from the 80s, Fiero. Oh, so it was a Pontiac. So Fiero is a Pontiac.
With the motor in the back.
The motor in the back?
And it catch fire.
Oh, it catch fire. They had a recall. Okay, so it was not the headlights for that one. It was like literal fire. It's called Fiero, so it's close to fire. Maybe that was the point.
Yeah. Maybe it's Italian.
Maybe it's Italian. It does sound Italian, right? Lamborghini Diablo had lights. Okay. I don't know. The gears and the motor of the lights are made of nylon. They are common failure. Okay. So nylon, I guess, not a good thing. Little motor?
Like a kid's toy.
Oh, kids' toys.
And it's not metal.
Oh, it's not metal. So it breaks faster. Plus, I mean, if you're a guy and you have this sports car, usually it's for nighttime, right? Why would you open your lights in the day anyway? So this doesn't work. Lincolns were vacuum. Oh yeah, there's the vacuums in the Lincoln, right? Yeah. I think we talked about that. So I mean, every car has this little special thing about them, which made them super cool. Any other innovation that you would like to see on our cars nowadays? That would be a good time. Something that you want to see coming back. I mean, Carl wants ashtray back. Some people want sunroof, which is already kind of there for some reason. Chris Pankage says that's why the lights don't work. The gear goes bad, the teeth wear out and become brittled. Oh, okay, great. So perfect. That gives you all the information you need, and that's why we're here on Two Girls, One Electric Car.
They didn't test it like the chair at IKEA.
Yeah, they didn't test it like the chair at IKEA. They're still testing it. Lincoln had Hoover vacuums. See, this is like, so you had mini bars, you had cell phones, you had vacuums. This was like the like most intense coolness that you could have back then. Of course, these were like super expensive vehicles. Nowadays, you could get it for maybe less expensive. But I think the technology you have in a newer vehicle would definitely be better than everything you could get of that.
Everything was not like for security. It was just
Yeah.
luxury.
Exactly.
My father got it.
Yeah. So it was not security, it was luxury. Yes.
More
More ashtrays. Yeah, and no cup holders, right? Yeah, this is this is that thing. I think Dodge and Plymouth did too. Copy. It's really called the IROC Z. The IROC Z? Oh, Camaro?
Camaro iRacks.
Okay. No, for the pop-up headlights control. Okay, so you would control it with the vacuum? I'm not getting any of this. This is starting to get very weird.
He just said the iRacks didn't have a pop-up. The
Oh.
is a one brand of camera.
Okay, but no pop-up lights. Well, now we know. Okay, go. So any of these old features you would want to get back? Like the vent windows. I mean, would you want bench seats back, but maybe with a different edition? Do you want like a lot of people to sit up front? Because I think there's like this one car where you drive in the middle. Like you drive in the middle of the car, right? There's that one car. It's like one, I'm not sure if it's a McLaren or if it's one of the other ones. Yeah, the seat is in the middle. There's 3 seats. There's one in the middle and 2 that are kind of like on each side. So you drive in the middle of the car, like literally. Yeah. Which is really cool. So instead of electricity, they used vacuum pressure. Oh, okay, I get it now. No pop-up lights, but it would have been cool. Oh, okay. Pneumatic powered pop-up lights. I mean, this is crazy. So we are solving the pop-up light problem. So we could... Everybody wants pop-up lights back for some reason. Okay. So Chemist America Lifestyle is giving us the dad joke of this podcast. Thank you so much. Yeah. Because there's always a dad joke, but since I'm not a dad and my PA is not hired yet, she will be at one point. Yeah. Well, I'm still doing interviews and we are working on getting another awesome person on our podcast and just in my life so that I can manage all of my social media and my awesome patreon.com, Two Girls, One Electric Car. Also, don't forget to follow us. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and we're on TikTok as well. We are, well, you're here on YouTube, so you know this already. So make sure that you follow us everywhere. Maybe you would like to, see us on Instagram too. This is so cool. Two Girls, One Electric Car, same handle. Now, we have here, bam, the joke. So we'll go with the dad joke. Chemist America Lifestyle has for us the dad joke. Thank you very much, Chemist America Lifestyle. Since you have a daughter, this is legit dad joke, people. Legit. Why don't elephants use electric vehicles? I'll give you a little bit of time to think about it. Why don't elephants use electric vehicles? Dun, 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 dun. They're afraid of losing their trunks in the charging port. I mean, that's cute. That's super cute. Did Kwame laugh a lot to this one? I'm sure she did. Because this is kind of easily understandable. Well, maybe not for a 4-year-old. I mean, maybe that's a bit too much. Anyone remembers the Landau that had the swivel seats? The Landau? What's a Landau? I don't know, huh? Must be a big car. It was all big cars back then. Oh, you on YouTube too, so good to know. Yeah, totally on YouTube too. I mean, maybe some people are listening to the podcast because a friend kind of sent them a link or something like that. So just need to put it out there. And then used to be a button on the floorboard to spray washer fluid. Really? It's way more useful for the button to literally be on behind the steering wheel. I feel. Bad drivers of New York City Tesla edition. Just wanted to say hi, busy at work, but have headphones on to hear the show. Well, thank you so much for tuning in and listening. You know we appreciate all the support we can get. And then Chris Pankage says, sort of convenient. Was it more convenient to have it on the floor? Really? That's interesting. I did not spell that right. Okay, don't worry. It's okay. Some people don't spell right. There's no problem there. That being said, I'm Piper, and this is Two Girls, One Electric Car. Yeah, the podcast that's called While You Wait is brought to you from Monday to Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Make sure that you tune in, and if you miss it, don't worry. We have a podcast playlist that is available for you anytime, anywhere. Just go click on it, and you can listen to all of the past episodes, and make sure that you turn on your notifications for all the newer episodes. I'll see you in the next one. Oh, yeah.